Sue Wildcat. My maiden name is Six Killer. I grew up at, a couple of different places, simply because our house burnt down, so my mom moved around a little bit, but mostly at Tag Flats in Delaware County. My mom's name was Leona, maiden name was Sapsucker, and my dad's name was John Six Killer. I have always lived in the country, so we didn't have much toys. We didn't have a car, for one thing. He always just hitched a ride, or the county commissioner at the time would take people to the hospital and to the grocery stores. These are things that they did way back when. There was a spring close to the house. We would go there and play in the creek, catch crawdads, and it was a lot of fun when Mom would go with us to swim. You know, that was always fun for her to be involved in our little activities that we had. Mom got a hold of a Montgomery Ward catalog. Mom cut out those little people, the models, out of the magazine, and she would paste something kind of hard in the back, and she would bend them to make them sit, and we would, my brother and I would play with them. And I remember him having just a couple of little bitty trucks, and he would play with them. But we mostly played where there were big trees and the roots were showing, and those were different rooms for our little dolls, you know, our little paper dolls. Some pushed tires, but we didn't have a car to push tires because we didn't have any tires. And then we would roll down the hill and just things like that, and pile up leaves and jump in it, you know, that kind of thing. I must have been, I don't know, 9 maybe. And so I chose Oaks. We chose Oaks, and had no idea where it was, but we didn't have suitcases, so Mom loaded our stuff up in like a little box, in a bag, some kind of bag, and off we went. To see my mom leave, you know, that was kind of but I mean, I knew I'd see her again, but it was just, and I'm glad we went there. At first it was kind of lonesome, but it soon was over because, you know, there's a lot of kids there, and we just played and had chores, and I think that taught us a lot of things that would benefit us as we grew up. It was just a big family. You know, when we ate, it was family style. They did laundry for us, but we had to go down there and get our clothes, and then we had, if you were old enough, you had a big sister that would take care of you. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind being in boarding school. And we'd come home on holidays, and Thanksgiving would be only like the day of and the day after. Back to school that Monday. For a Christmas tree, it was a wild Christmas tree, and it was just homemade decorations, you know, that kind of thing, nothing fancy. I remember saving up money where I don't know how much I had, but I really thought it was something to give Mom a gift. I got a little bitty ornament. I didn't know what an ornament was. I'd never seen one. And I wrapped it up and I gave it to her for Christmas because I didn't know it was an ornament. I thought it was just, I guess, a knick-knack is what they call it nowadays. My dad had cattle, and he sold the milk to Pet Milk. A truck would come in, I don't know if it was once a week, twice a week, or what. I just remember the big old silver looking truck would come in, and my sisters and him would go down to the creek where he kept all his milk in big containers, and so anyway, they would go out there and get them. My mom did not drive, and she finally ended up getting a car. It was a pink and white Ford, but anyway, it was a big thrill, you know. And she would drive without her shoe on because she felt more comfortable like that. But I remember going into town and I was amazed of what they had, you know, but she would just buy material to make our clothes, you know. Pop was a big thing. I think it was like a nickel a bottle. It was at Little Kansas at Jones' store. I don't even remember his first name now, but he had a store there, and Mom had credit there. We would get penny candy, you know, we were only allowed 2 apiece. But that was our treat. We would take one bottle of pop and 2 pieces of candy for each of us. People would come by, my uncles or my aunt would come by, you know, and we'd just sit on the porch until it got dark, you know. We'd talk about skillies, you know, things following you home, and seeing things which they actually would see. You know, you could, back then, I don't know if they were more stronger in what they were or what it is, but anyway, sometimes you could actually see some things. I don't think it was the eyes tricking you, you know, it's just something that you've seen. So, or hear it, you know. Yeah. One time, it was just that's when my sisters were still home, and me and my brother and Mom, Mom bought a refrigerator, and she put, the house was real small, she put it in the bedroom, so, and she bought some grapes, and we, you know, that was a luxury. And so we were just all sitting there, and it got dark on us, and nobody got up to turn on the light. And my sister was blowing those seeds towards everybody, you know. And when it got dark, we were still sitting there, and finally Mom said, quit doing that. Quit blowing those seeds towards us. And she said, Mom, I quit a long time ago, she said. And that's when we got scared. But we all jumped up. We had electricity because boy, Mom flipped those lights on, but yeah, I remember that real plain. Ethics, that's what I learned, was ethics. Work ethics. If I was told to do something from Mom or asked to do something, I really tried hard to fulfill it. But I think respect for your parents, because you know they're not going to be around always. That's what Mom used to say, and you've got to get an education, Sue, she'll say, because I won't be around forever.